Luminous, STEM beyond the globe.
Science is not a boys' game. It's not a girl's game. It's everyone's game. It's about where we are and where we are going. Is space travel benefit us here on Earth? And we aren't stopped yet. There's more exploration to come. STEM woman at Michelle Nicholas, former NASA ambassador and Star Trek actress, made such a statement. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Luminous Eco podcast series by IEEE Women in Engineering Affinity Group of Sri Lanka Technological Campus. This podcast series is to encourage and inspire female undergraduates all over the country and will be conducted under these 5 categories, which are women in engineering, women in IT, women in technology, women in science, and women in entrepreneurship. So today we are having a special guest with us to discuss about women in science category. Meet the dynamic personality, Ms Ureni Halahakon. Here with us today, you are listening to Luminous Eco podcast series where we discuss about women in STEM. Hello ma'am, it's our honor to have you with us today in this podcast. Our listeners would probably prefer hearing a small introduction about yourself from you rather than from me. So ma'am, please tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and your educational background and your family background.
Thank you for inviting me. I am truly humbled. I'm Ureni Halahakon. So to give you a brief overview of myself and my family background, I'm originally from Negombo and I'm from a single parent household, but I was extremely lucky to be raised and supported by my mother's brother and sister. I studied at Adventist International School and I did my A-levels at Gateway College. Growing up, I never imagined that I would pursue medicine or get into research. But I think my teachers would attest that I was never in class. I spent most of my time in the school playground or practicing for some extracurricular activity. But I did choose biology as a biology stream for my A-levels, which I feel that was one of the plus points, one of the good decisions that I did make in my life. But the pathway to medicine began when when I was about 17. My aunt was diagnosed with leukemia. So whenever she went for her medical consultations, I would tag along with her. And being my curious and talkative self, I used to ask the doctor that was treating my aunt about how she got the disease. And he was always happy to answer my questions at a level that I could understand. But that wasn't enough for me. So I researched on the internet, I read books, I spoke to my teachers to understand more about disease, pathology, and progression. Unfortunately, despite the efforts of the doctors, my aunt passed away, but that curiosity that was triggered in myself, it remained. And I really wanted to learn about diseases, their pathology, their diagnosis, how to treat them, how to prevent them. And that's when I chose to study medicine. My goal was to help people attain a higher standard of health. I did my medical degree at Mayur State Medical University in Russia. And upon returning to Sri Lanka, I briefly worked at a medical center that ascertains the health status of immigrant workers who are going to the labor market, Middle Eastern labor market. And afterwards, I decided to pursue my master's in health services management, specializing in patient safety and quality. I completed that last year. Currently, I am pursuing a research degree in health economics. at the Queensland University of Technology.
Thank you, ma'am. That was indeed a wonderful introduction. I guess everyone has had or will have that stage in life which is said to be the turning point in life. So, ma'am, what is your turning point in your life?
Well, my family did play an important part in the academic and career decisions that I made for myself. My aunt having leukemia made me choose medicine. And another thing that happened to me when I was in fourth year med school was that my aunt, who helped raise me, she passed away due to a heart attack. And her death was partly due to the negligence of the medical officer of that particular hospital. Initially I was really devastated. I was angry and disappointed, but as time passed by, I realized that to error is human, and expecting a flawless performance from human beings who are working in a complex, high-stress environment is unrealistic. And then I started doing my research, and I found that usually in high-income countries, about 1 in 10 people are faced with adverse events, and 50% of them being preventable. So the statistics are much higher in developing countries. So that was when I was introduced to the concept of patient safety and quality. And so my direction in medicine changed from a clinical to a more health administrative perspective. So my decision to branch out from health safety and quality to health economics, it came about during the COVID pandemic, where governments around the world was more interested in developing COVID vaccines, introducing preventative measures, and reducing the burden of the healthcare system. So I began to wonder how these governments prioritize the funding above all the other diseases and ailments that already existed. Then again, my passionately curious brain got activated, and I started researching on this. And that was when I was introduced to the discipline of health economics.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, from what you have told us so far, we can see that you are lots of tough situation in life. Would you like to share with us the challenges you have faced and how you have overcome that?
Obviously, like everybody else, I've had my fair share of obstacles in life. To be honest, I've gone through immense financial difficulties when I was doing my bachelor's with the passing away of my aunt and uncle, and so I had to do multiple odd jobs to support my education. For example, I've done cleaning, I've been a kitchen help, I even ran my own mess to pay for college. So during the weekends, I used to make food and sell it to my hostel friends. But despite handling so many jobs and financial stress all together in a foreign country, I never let it affect my grades. But there was this one point I remember that I felt that I no longer could take the stress, and I walked across the bridge. And while I was staring across that vast body of water, a voice inside my head told me, "Is this it? Is this how you want to be remembered? As someone who gave up so easily because she couldn't pay her college fees?" So it hit me then. So at that time, my biggest obstacle was finances. So if I had to leave med school because of my financial barrier, I would happily go back and I would work hard. I would earn that money and I would come back. And I just wanted to be remembered as the girl who tried rather than the girl who gave up. So I think these things in life that I went through, they molded me as a person and they strengthened me as a person.
Thanks for sharing the wonderful list with us, honestly. Okay, ma'am, can you tell us what is your greatest strength?
So I think my greatest strength would be my can-do attitude. So growing up, I've had people discourage me. like I told you earlier, I was a more sports oriented. I was a very average student. So I had this teacher who once told me that I would never achieve anything education wise. And I had a couple of relatives who asked me not to go to university, not to do medicine. They said that I didn't have it in me. Maybe from their perspective, they were right. But for me, it was a time that I wanted to prove them wrong. I took the underestimation as a motivation, and I developed a positive mindset. So I believe that anything is possible if you work hard and if you put your mind to it. And so I take every challenge as an opportunity to learn and grow.
Yes, ma'am. So accomplished in your life, which made you proud?
I think one of my greatest achievements would be completing my medical degree despite all the troubles that I went through. So the day that I walked across stage for my graduation would have to be my proudest moment in life. And I'm glad that little voice behind my head spoke to me on that day near the bridge. And I also consider it a great accomplishment to work alongside the great economists that I'm currently working with, who are dealing with real world healthcare problems and devising ways to overcome them.
Yes, ma'am. So let's move on our another question. A major problem for women is work-life balance. How did you balance your work and personal life while reaching this amount of success?
I would be lying if I said that my life is perfectly balanced and it runs like a well-oiled clock. But I've taken up a work-life balance improvement strategy recently. So I've decided to work only Monday to Friday, and I have left the weekends to focus on myself and my family. And I also, at work, I set manageable goals, so I don't go and grab every project that I can get my hands on. So I know my capacity, and I know how much I can handle. So I have more control over my work and less stress. And when I'm at home, I try to eat healthy, I work out, and I watch a movie or two. I am extremely lucky to have a supportive husband who encourages me to follow my dreams, and we divide and conquer our activities. And without him, I wouldn't be here, and needless to say, he is definitely the wind beneath my wings.
And for the helpful advice, have you drawn professional inspiration from another woman who inspired you?
I have been, and each of them empower me to become a better version of myself. So I'd just like to give you like 3 examples. Firstly, it would be my general manager at my previous employment in Sri Lanka, Ms 𝕚𝕬𝕪. She's a smart, dynamic lady who handled the entire medical center with such ease and grace. And the employers did not feel a hectic day go by. So I think that is her organizational and her people skills is something I aspire to have one day in my work life. And in university, I had this amazing lecturer called Ms 𝕚𝕑𝕑, and she probably must be the most characteristic lecturer I have ever met in my life. The way she speaks, the way she, her wealth of knowledge, and she can help her, the way she actually transports that knowledge into words can transform people listening to her. And I always try to effectively communicate like her. In my workplace, I am surrounded by highly successful, influential women who are female health economists who are contributing to tackling real-world health economic problems. And I am truly privileged to work alongside them.
So finally, the take-away message that you have to give the present generation as a successful woman in the Women in Science category.
So my takeaway message would be that, firstly, I think one of the best ways to counteract the critics that underestimate you is for them to see you succeed in the things that they underestimate you. And if you could focus on mastering the task that you're working on, you could be successful. And secondly, I think every day we encounter roadblocks, obstacles that would prevent us from moving forward, and we would feel that our dreams cannot be achieved or that they are not worth fighting for. So these obstacles are there along our way, not to make us quit, but rather to strengthen us. So my advice to you is work hard and never quit. And finally, I just want to congratulate all the young ladies who are listening to me today. And I wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So it was Ureni's story, and with that, we have come to the end of our show. Ms Ureni, thank you so much for joining today. We had a great time with you, and I think our listeners have learned a lot of things from your life story and your experiences. So thank you again for joining us with today, dedicating your valuable time. So guys, we have come to the end of our show. I hope you all found today's show more valuable and more important. As a last remind you that listen to the third podcast and answer the quiz within a week to get a valuable admiration on your side. Keeping in touch with us. Let's meet another great show with another special guest like today very very soon. Until then, take care and stay safe everyone. Bye bye. I am 𝕱ᴜ𴅍 signing off from third show of Luminous Eco podcast series. Thank you.